This is why the Kansas City Chiefs are better than you think. So we're going to be going through that and 3 other stories in today's video. So make sure to like this video, and if you want more Kansas City Chiefs news content like this, make sure to subscribe to the channel by hitting that red button down below. The first story is Chiefs push to trade for new starter after frustrating performance. The Kansas City Chiefs chose to trust their recent draft picks at cornerback when they traded veteran star L'Jarius Sneed this offseason. But as of August 13th, the results have not been there. Defensive coordinator Steve Spagnuolo hinted that the Chiefs needed to see more from their CB room back on July 29th when he challenged someone to take the starting job across from Trent McDuffie. Through one preseason outing, however, no one has. KC beat reporters Nick Jacobs and Matt Derrick were notably critical of the cornerback competition on their podcast, 41 is the Mic, following the Chiefs' August loss to the Jacksonville Jaguars. The number 2 corner spot, who wants it? 'Cause right now, nobody is showcasing that they want it out there, Jacobs began while discussing things that were terrible from the preseason opener. It's getting to a point now where the Chiefs may have to start thinking about if they want to add a veteran, the longtime KC media member continued, adding that Kansas City might even have to go trade for somebody at this point in the offseason. They're at that point now, Jacobs stated candidly about a unit that he deemed frustrating to watch. Finally, he suggested that the Chiefs will either have to make a move at cornerback or ride it out with this group until the trade deadline. As Jacobs and Derrick broke down the cornerback play on Saturday night, they made it clear that they were not impressed by any of the CB2 candidates. You were hoping second-year 7th-rounder Nick Jones would have a better showing than what he did, Jacobs outlined, highlighting the touchdown pass where wide receiver Devin Duvernay turned him around. Similarly, the reporter called out third-year prospect Joshua Williams for getting lost. The deep ball to rookie Brian Thomas Jr., Derrick agreed that both Jones and Williams failed their assignments on August 10th, giving the Chiefs no sign that they can start at nickel and CB2 if called upon. Rookie Kamal Hadden. He had a rough night, Jacobs said later. And then Keith Taylor, he had a rough night too. He was particularly critical of the Hadden and Taylor pairing for their outside containment struggles on run defense. I'm really underwhelmed with what we continue to see, Jacobs concluded ominously. The days are stacking up more and more, and unless Jalen Watson can get healthy and take it over, or if Nazeeh Johnson gets healthy, there's a big question mark about who's going to be starting opposite Trent McDuffie, and it didn't feel like anyone answered it tonight. As Derrick and Jacobs discussed this topic, they leaned toward Watson, Johnson, or Kelvin Joseph, giving the Chiefs a better shot at shutting down wide receivers than the players that appeared in Jacksonville. The issue? They're all dealing with injuries. Watson's return from shoulder surgery has taken some time throughout the spring and summer, and the third-year CB was just recently cleared for contact, while Johnson has dealt with setbacks and new issues in his knee. Both have also shown signs of rust at camp, according to the trusty eyes of Derrick and Jacobs. Then there's Joseph, who looked to be on the fast track toward winning the job before tweaking his hamstring. Right now, you're right, Derrick eventually responded to Jacobs. If the Chiefs went out shopping for a veteran corner to just add to the depth to give them a floor, I wouldn't be stunned. The second story is, could the Chiefs actually trade for CeeDee Lamb? As the Dallas Cowboys and CeeDee Lamb remain seemingly at a standstill in negotiations for a contract extension, Lamb voiced his frustration by removing America's team from his X bio on Thursday, then changing his banner image to an old photo of him and former Oklahoma Sooners teammate Marquise Hollywood Brown. Brown, who signed with the Kansas City Chiefs this offseason, also added a photo with his old teammate for his banner image. This has fueled speculation that Lamb would be eyeing a reunion with Brown by facilitating a trade to the defending Super Bowl champs. While players typically display frustration amid contract negotiations on social media, things tend to get resolved in the end. The most likely scenario is still Lamb and the Cowboys coming to terms on an extension at some point before the season starts. Still, there's always that possibility that the two sides can't come to an agreement, and perhaps the Cowboys would have to look into trading Lamb. If that were to happen, would the Chiefs be interested? And if they were, would they be able to work out a Lamb trade with their current roster? The Kansas City Chiefs are looking to become the first NFL team to ever win 3 straight Super Bowls, but it is definitely not going to be a walk in the park. In a recent article by Bleacher Report's Brad Gagnon, he brings up one talking point for every NFL team. For the reigning Super Bowl champions, he brings up the fact that the Chiefs might not be giving enough support to Patrick Mahomes. I know we sing this song annually right around now, but I'm concerned about the support the Chiefs are currently offering Patrick Mahomes, Gagnon writes. Justin Watson, Xavier Worthy, and Kadarius Toney have already missed time, and it's never great to see the elite Chris Jones hurt. The Chiefs face some obvious obstacles as they embark on an attempted three-peat. There may be some question marks around the supporting cast of the Chiefs, but there have been those same questions each of the past 2 seasons. And look where the team is at. There were some questions that arose whenever the team's WR1 was a very inconsistent Juju Smith-Schuster, and then he almost had 1,000 yards that season. Last year, there were questions about Toney and who would be the team's best wide out, and then Rashee Rice stepped up big and had over 900 yards. The point is, no matter what the circumstances are, Mahomes always finds a way to make the Chiefs the team to beat. And he won't be looking to end that trend anytime soon. The third story is Rees-Zammit has crowd cheering with extremely impressive play at Kansas City Chiefs training. Rees-Zammit is continuing to make good progress in his bid to make the Kansas City Chiefs final roster and made his mark with a spectacular catch during a training drill recently. The Chiefs, who won back-to-back Super Bowl titles in 2023 and 2024, are currently holding a training camp at St. Joseph in Missouri in preparation for the upcoming NFL season. Due to Rees-Zammit's skill set, running back and wide receiver were the designated NFL positions mentioned for him to take up as an American football player. And the former Wales and Gloucester speedster caught the eye when he made a break down the right-hand touchline, in a wide receiver training move despite pressure from a defender, beating his opponent and sprinting away before taking the catch mid-air. That led to a round of applause from spectators in attendance in what was an open training session. Rugby really prepared me for this. Rees-Zammit, set to find out which sport really is harder hitting, video footage of the play was shared on Twitter by Arrowhead Live, which said, "This is an extremely impressive 1-versus-1 rep for LRZ. That will boost the 23-year-old's confidence as he bids for a position on the Chiefs' final 53-man roster, which will be announced on August 27th. Since making his code switch, Rees-Zammit has earned praise from coaches and teammates for his work ethic, willingness to learn, and athletic ability. However, earlier in the week, Emmy-winning sports producer for KSHB 41 News, Nick Jacobs, raised some concerns over certain aspects of his game. Prior to the Chiefs naming their 53-man roster for the upcoming NFL season, they kick off their preseason program on August 11th with an away match against the Jacksonville Jaguars before back-to-back home encounters against the Detroit Lions and Chicago Bears, and Rees-Zammit will be hoping he is involved in those fixtures. The NFL announced earlier this year that their 2024-25 campaign kicks off with the Chiefs hosting the Baltimore Ravens at the GEHA Field at Arrowhead Stadium on September 5th. Earlier this year, the NFL perhaps witnessed one of the coldest moments in its history when Patrick Mahomes' helmet shattered after a head-to-head collision with safety Deshaun Elliott. While it's been months since the incident, Mahomes hasn't forgotten about it, as he recently revealed that he is still on the lookout for the iconic helmet. In Wednesday's media presser following training camp, a journalist reminded Mahomes of their previous conversation in January, where the QB had expressed his desire to get the helmet back. When asked if the shattered helmet was in his possession yet, Mahomes surprisingly replied with a firm no. The QB revealed that the delay was due to the Chiefs' equipment director, Alan Wright. He even cheekily poked fun at Alan, attributing the delay to his little bit of laziness. "I haven't got it back yet. I'm trying to get it back still. I mean, Alan, man, he is sometimes just kind of lazy. I'm not going to say it, but just a little bit lazy. Apart from the imagery of Mahomes and Elliott's collision resembling a bullfight, the moment will go down in modern history due to the shattering of the helmet. Since the turn of the century, helmet manufacturers have taken pride in maximizing safety. Despite their measures, the fact that the helmet shattered signifies the enormous magnitude of intensity in the league today. It's a testament to the new benchmarks of physical prowess of NFL players. That said, the frigid weather at Arrowhead, with a wind chill factor of -27, might have contributed to the helmet shattering. After the game, the league apparently took that helmet for closer inspection, and it has yet to be returned. While there is no official confirmation on what Mahomes plans to do with the shattered helmet,